I guess I'll start it off. Just really proud of not just the win, but the way that it happened. The fact that we were down so many players on defense, and guys just continued to raise up, and offensively to do their part in keeping the defense off the field and keeping them fresh. That's a really, really good offensive football team. Really, really good. And to hold them to 14 points, I think a lot of that, has to come with, I don't know how many plays they ran, 34, or what is that, 72, but, to have the time of possession, a 10-minute advantage in that, but also score points. You can have the ball for as long as you want on offense, but if you don't have much to show for it on the scoreboard, it's not real beneficial. But to be able to score that many points, as well as a bunch of guys that when their number was called on defense really stepped up, and we don't like to use the phrase rising to the occasion. We like to talk about what the Navy SEALs talk about, which is falling to the level of your training. And the guys that were forced into some very key roles this evening have been trained really, really well, or this afternoon, and they've been trained really, really well, and they went out and applied their training, and was really proud to see the result.
Going into the half there, following that touchdown, what was your message to the team in the locker room that led to that 35-0 shutout in the second half?
Well, I didn't see that coming, I got to be honest with you. But I knew we were playing well. I think we all knew we were playing well. But you're right. We gave up that drive there at the end of the half. That I don't know. This team just continues to grow, man. I don't know. Even just last week, I know just last week, because we had a double-digit lead, and in 4 out of our previous 5 games, we had a double-digit lead, and we lost 2 of them, and we figured out how to hold on and win one last week. But I think this week we figured out kind of how to have confidence in building that lead, and maybe not go into a little bit of a shell like we have, or get surprised. When you've had 3 straight losing seasons, sometimes when you do well, you're like, oh my gosh, and you get a little puckered up and kind of say to yourself, don't screw this up, and champions think differently. Champions expect to be in those positions and continue doing what they're doing to get them there. And I thought our guys took another step in the right direction as far as that growth is concerned.
Now, Tom, the last time I saw you over
okay, so I agreed to a picture, but the next time I see you, I'm going to need my own hat.
No problem. She's working on it.
Okay.
But anyways, let's talk. I expected this type of a beating.
How are we going to do that, though? Because you are the Motor City Mad Mount. So is it going to be like Tom Herman supports the Motor City Mad Mount?
You know what? She's a creative person.
Okay, yeah,
Where there's a will, there's a way. I guarantee you. We'll do it. We'll make it happen. I expected this kind of a beating on Monmouth, not on my alma mater, for God's sake, the 587 spot. This was an impressive win for you guys. It really, really was.
Yeah, especially, got a ton of respect for Coach Golish and the program that he's building here. They're considerably better than what they've been in years past, and that's a compliment to them and their staff and their program. But again, I think it just goes to the growth and development of our team. And every team is different. Every team grows at different paces, at different stages. And had you told me this was going to be our overall record 6 games in before the season, wouldn't have been real happy. If you told me that this is going to be the team that we leave Tampa with to get ready for UTSA, I'd have been really happy with that. So I think we all understand, that we are a work in progress, but that work is happening at a very good clip at this point.
Isn't it?
Go ahead.
big a day as LeJontay had, it had to be gratifying to see other receivers make big plays.
Yeah, you know, and Ken Levica and his crew asked the same question. I don't think anybody was surprised. You know, we know how good those guys are. We see it every day in practice and all of that. I think, you know, it's not like LeJontay had an off day. You know, 10 catches for 100 and something yards and a touchdown. So, but there are times when they cover him, and the other guys got to make plays, and it was really. Again, I keep using the word proud, but I don't have a better word. Just really proud that they showed everybody else kind of what we knew as a program.
Now, in the Midwest, I'm used to the Gordie Howe hat trick, a goal, assist, and a fight. But tonight, where I'm going with this is you got a receiving touchdown, you had a rushing touchdown, and a special team. So that showed a lot of being prolific in those specific areas that ultimately led to this result.
Who I know LeJontay had. What
You had
Rushing,
a
receiving, and a punt.
And a return.
yeah, and a special
LeJontay
team.
had a rushing touchdown?
No.
No, Johnson, you had rushing
just saying as a
touchdowns,
team.
Oh, and
Yeah,
a
as a
team.
team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you can put the ball in the end zone is a good thing. But you're right to do it in the way that we did. And, you know, balanced offense to me is not, hey, we're going to throw it 40 times, run it 40 times, or we're going to throw it for 250, run it for 250. To me, a balanced offense is can you win the game and produce the way the defense dictates you can, because they can always outnumber one phase of the game. And if they're outnumbered in the run, can you throw it to beat them? If they're outnumbered in the pass, can you run it to beat them? And today, I think we showed a healthy propensity to be able to do both.
Coach, you mentioned those guys that had to step up tonight. Michael Johnson Jr., 2 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on his performance tonight and really throughout the whole season as he's stepped up?
Yeah, he's really added an element, you know, and Mike can throw the football too. You know, it's not like we're putting a running back there at quarterback. So he's definitely a dual threat, but much more so than Daniel. And so we've got a little package for him, and it's been nice to see him. You know, everything that he's been through in his career to really find a role on a team like ours that loves him and appreciates that role. And I think they're going to get to talk to him in a little bit too, so that'll be pretty cool for him.
Let's go to the Zoom guys.
Hi, Zoom guys. The 4-hour drive was too long, huh, man?
He's from here.
You couldn't stay with your folks? You couldn't stay with your folks? All right, go ahead. What do you got? Not a whole lot. Like I said, there's no trophy given out for going 2-0 in conference. So I do think, without overstating the importance of one win, because I never want to do that, because they all count the same. So they don't give you 1.5 wins for beating South Florida. But I do think it's important to note that in our young history in this conference, a conference with some very deep tradition and history, and especially postseason, you know, that to have our first 2 conference wins in our program's history be, you know, in the American Conference against 2 teams that have been in this conference since its inception, I think adds a nice little cherry on the sundae, if you will. But they don't get easier, you know, and we know that. We're going to celebrate it, but we know how hard this week's going to be, just like every week. The question was, with the offense being kind of stagnant with the conditions last week, you know, how it felt to kind of get untracked a little bit offensively. And I think it felt good. And I just like I said with the receivers, within our building, we kind of all know what our best is capable of. We just hadn't shown it consistently. up until this point, and I would argue we still left some stuff out there today. But in terms of being on the right track and the growth and trajectory that we're on, again, taking that next step to come out of our shell a little bit, if you will, offensively was important. Just reminded them, like I did the entire first half, that we've been here before with 4 games with two-score lead, double-digit lead, and that we had to take these 30 minutes in the second half to grow and to prove to ourselves what we're capable of. And it wasn't a whole. In these games, the rah-rah stuff, you don't need a whole lot of it. They're going to be really motivated. That I found out over the many years. So it was just about settling down and going back to our training and back to our fundamentals and doing exactly what got us to that point, and our guys responded. Oh, they're all, the first win on the road was the question. They all feel good. I think obviously doing it in our home state and against the only other team in our conference from the state of Florida, and in front of a really, really good road crowd for FAU. Again, thank you to the students and fans that made the drive to come support us. We felt you, and they were a big part of us and doing what we did today. But road, home, I don't know, let's play them in the parking lot. I don't know, as long as we get a win, 88-87 or 3-2 on the road, at home, neutral site, parking lot, park, you name it, Maddox. We'll go do it if it gets us a win. It was about Jacob Merrifield. I don't know yet. He tried to warm up after halftime, was not successful. We're going to get x-rays and MRIs on his ankle tomorrow and hope for the best. No. They were looking, something with his side. I know they were looking at him in the training room. I mean, he was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything, but he had some side pain that, again, had it at that time and is still having it, so they're looking at it. But I don't think I haven't been told it's anything too serious. The question was, the offense 9 of 16. I would argue 9 of 14. Because the last 2 third downs, we were kind of running the clock out there, and we were 1 of 1 on 4th downs when it counted. So really 10 of 14 of keeping drives alive. Critical, because we stunk for the first 5 weeks of the season at that. And so, but I think what everybody, they just look at that one number, and that one number, it'll tell you something, but the number that's more important is your first and second down efficiency, and we stayed ahead of the chain. We were in 3rd and mediums and 3rd and short a lot more often than in games past, and so being able to run the football, I thought Coach Fry had a really good rhythm in the way that he called the game and kept us in 3rd manageable. And then obviously the players, the guys in the arena went out there and executed on those critical situations and in the red zone too. We're gonna wake up tomorrow and do exactly what we do.
All right, we're gonna do the same format, but we'll start with.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.